I slammed the phone bill onto the kitchen table, my hands shaking so badly the papers scattered like confetti from a funeral. There it was, 200 calls to the same number, all in the last month, hidden behind her work emergencies. My wife, Dr. Elena Ramirez, the woman I'd loved for 12 years, the one who just sat me down last week and diagnosed our marriage as terminal. Her words echoed in my head. It's over, Mark. We've flatlined. But as I stared at that damning log, I realized the real patient on life support was our trust, and she was the one pulling the plug. We'd met in college back when she was just Elena, the brilliant biology major with eyes like polished obsidian and a laugh that could thaw winter. I was the steady guy, working construction to pay my way through an engineering degree. She dreamed of saving lives. I dreamed of building a life with her. We married young, right after graduation. I supported her through med school, nights of ramen and coffee, me picking up extra shifts while she buried herself in textbooks. You're my rock, she'd whisper, collapsing into my arms after exams. When she graduated, tears streamed down her face as she hugged me in that cap and gown. We did it, Mark, together. But success changed her. Residency at the prestigious city hospital meant long hours, new colleagues, a world of white coats, and sterile confidence I couldn't penetrate. I'd wait up with cold dinners, listening to her stories of saving patients from the brink. It's exhilarating, she'd say, her voice alive in a way it hadn't been with me in years. I chalked it up to passion for her job. Denial is a warm blanket when suspicion starts creeping in. The first crack appeared 6 months ago. She came home late, again, smelling of unfamiliar cologne, subtle, like sandalwood mixed with hospital antiseptic. Must be a patient's, she muttered, avoiding my eyes as she headed straight for the shower. I laughed it off, but that night as she slept, I glanced at her phone on the nightstand. It buzzed once, a text from Dr. Alex. Miss you already. My heart stuttered. Alex? The hotshot surgeon she'd mentioned in passing, the one who understood the pressure. I told myself it was professional. Colleagues bond over trauma cases, right? But the seed was planted, rooting deep in my gut. Suspicion festered like an untreated wound. She'd cancel our date nights for emergencies. Her phone glued to her hand, screen angled away from me. Patient privacy, she'd snap if I asked. Our conversations turned clinical. Hers about procedures, mine about blueprints that bored her. Intimacy? A distant memory. I'd reach for her in bed, and she'd roll away, murmuring, "Not tonight, Mark. I'm exhausted." Exhaustion from what? From us? Or from him? I tried to talk. Over dinner one evening, candlelight flickering like false hope, I said, "Elena, what's going on? We barely touch anymore." She set her fork down, her doctor mask slipping into place, cool, detached. Marriage isn't always passion, Mark. We've grown apart. You're comfortable, but I need more. Her words sliced clean, like a scalpel. Comfortable? I'd built our home with my hands, framed photos of our hikes, our vacations, our life. But she looked at me like a case file, diagnosing, it's terminal. We should end it before it gets messy, eh? Terminal. The word haunted me as I packed a bag that night, crashing at my brother's. But anger bubbled beneath the heartbreak. Why now? After all I'd sacrificed? I couldn't let go without answers. So I did what any broken man might. I hacked her iCloud. Not proud, but desperation doesn't ask for permission. Emails first, innocent work stuff. Then voicemails. Nothing. Finally, the phone records. Bingo. 200 calls to a number I didn't recognize. Some at 2 a.m., lasting hours. Whispered conversations while I slept alone. I dialed it from a burner phone, heart pounding like a war drum. A man's voice answered. Elena? Babe, is that you? Dr. Alex Thompson, her mentor, her colleague, her lover. The pieces crashed together. The late nights scrubbing in, the weekend conferences that left her glowing, the way she'd hum love songs in the shower, ones we never shared. Denial shattered into fury. I confronted her the next day at the hospital, storming past the reception desk like a man possessed. She was in her office, white coat pristine, laughing into her phone. Alex, stop. Someone might. She froze when she saw me, the color draining from her face. Mark? What are you doing here? I threw the printed bill at her feet. 200 calls, Elena. 200 lies. How long? She glanced at the door, then back at me, eyes wide with something like regret. Or was it fear of exposure? It's not what you think. Alex is just a friend? Your bait? I spat, voice cracking. You diagnosed us as terminal, but you're the one killing it. For him, tears welled in her eyes, but they felt performative, like a resident reciting symptoms. I didn't mean to hurt you. Med school, residency, it consumed me. You were always there, but Alex, he gets it. The adrenaline, the stakes. I felt alive again. Alive? The word gutted me. I'd given her stability, love, a foundation. But it wasn't enough. She craved the rush, the forbidden thrill. In that moment, I saw her not as my wife, but as a stranger, ambitious, selfish, human in her flaws. Part of me understood. Medicine had reshaped her, turned her into someone who chased highs to escape the lows. But understanding didn't dull the betrayal's blade. You flatlined our marriage, I whispered, turning away. Now live with it. The fallout was swift, a chain reaction of revelations. I filed for divorce, but didn't stop there. Anger fueled me. I tipped off the hospital board anonymously about their affair. Fraternization policies are strict. Affairs between mentors and mints? Career suicide. Investigations followed. Whispers in the halls turned to shouts. Alex, the golden boy, got suspended. Elena? Demoted, her reputation in tatters. Patients requested transfers. Colleagues avoided her like a contagion. She called me weeks later, voice broken. Mark, please. This is destroying me. I lost everything. You diagnosed us terminal, I said coldly. But you didn't count on the autopsy. Hanging up, I felt a hollow victory. Heartbreak lingered, a phantom pain where love once lived. Suspicion had poisoned me. Trust collapsed like a house of cards. Yet, in the ruins, I found clarity. We'd both been patients in this mess, her to ambition, me to blind devotion. Months on, I rebuilt. New job, new apartment, therapy sessions, unpacking the wreckage. Elena? Last I heard, she left the city, her white coat traded for obscurity. She flatlined. Not literally, but the life she chased imploded. And me? I'm healing, scar tissue forming over the wound. But sometimes, in quiet nights, I wonder, was it all inevitable? Love's a fragile organ, neglected, and it fails. Ours did, spectacularly.